1,000 eagles up there.
Just got back from the dump there. All those seagulls were pretty interesting. I thought I'd do a little video of those guys. And so many eagles up at the dump too here in British Columbia. So didn't really get a close-up. But anyway, here we are back at it. Episode 153. Thanks for coming back. Let's go. All right, early December. We've had rain every day for the last, I'd say, week. And we didn't when we were installing the windows last episode. So I got lucky. But something that had been bothering me is this big tree that is leaning dangerously toward the new house and all those beautiful windows. I'll show you here. So this tree here, and it was expansive. It went over here and it was just like dangerously close. So what I did was put a ladder up to that crutch and knocked off all those branches. I've already taken them to the branch recycle place or whatever. However, I still have to take this section out. And it's super high. Like when you're up there, you're basically the height of the roof. My fear was that it was going to come down and rake the side of my house and do damage. I was a little paranoid. So I don't like going up high. I just don't. It's nerve-wracking. But I took this ladder and I put it up there. And I cut all those branches. I still have to go up to knock that top off because I'm afraid if I cut it down here, it'll just plow into the house. So there was that. But now I'm working on the backer rod and sealing all the windows from the inside with that rounded insulation material. Talked a little bit about that before. And then putting a bead of silicone or Lexel, a product that I like to use. And it's turning out to be a real challenge because all the research I did when I ordered the windows said a half an inch smaller than the RO, the rough opening of the framed windows. Turns out they probably should have been more like 3/8 or even less. And what it does when it's less is that the backer rod is smaller, the bead of silicone is smaller. It just makes things a lot easier. But if the house is settled and you need to level the window and your RO is really small, you don't have as much leeway. So building inspector says there's barely any opening, a little bit of backer rod, one little bead of silicone, and boom, you're done. That's not the case here. So I'm ending up with half an inch, sometimes even more. So let me go upstairs and show you what I'm doing. Yeah, good old Lexel. That's what I use, folks. I think I did this one yesterday. Better lighting up here. So as you can see there, you put the insulation in and the Lexel. This one actually looks pretty good. But I had to fur this out. And then put an additional piece of this on. You know, I just... looks okay though. Today it looks okay. I was really upset about it yesterday. You can see here that there's barely any. That's what you want. Anyway, I battle away, folks. I battle away. I got another 25 to do. Putting the windows in with just one element of it. All of these have to be done. Look at the gap on this one. Half an inch. You're stuffing backer rod in there and putting a bead of silicone on there. Not an easy task. Tons of sealant. And they're not particularly inexpensive. So that irritates me as well. Everything irritates me. I have to control myself. But I love these windows. Woo! Let's do it. Okay, so I'm up top now, doing the backer rod and the sealant, basically insulating the interior of the windows. And it is a long process. There's not much to film. There's not much to talk about. So I thought that we would take a look at the last 3 years and what I was doing on this day, which is December 10th in 24, 23, and 22. Fill up this episode a little bit. It's just nothing to describe. It's a long haul on this chapter of the house. So let's check that out now. I hope you find it interesting. And if you're watching, I do include you in on this adventure, because if you've been watching from the beginning, you're part of it too. So thanks again, and let's do that now. I think you'll find it interesting. I know I will. All right, that's the end of day 2 on the footings. Those are level and in position. Starting to look like a construction site, damn it. I'm fairly confident that I can handle some basic cutting of the pipe. So I'm just carving the trenches as he laid out yesterday, and we'll continue on and see how it goes. I don't think this is going to take me as long, probably 16 hours, but if there's an issue and I got to go deeper, then longer. And nailed on. So again, where those full mounts, we'll have to fill in those blanks, but we're all good. Okay, I got him out of there. None of this has been particularly easy this last couple hours. Anyway, let's see if we can get the header back in there now. That hardwood sure pops. All right, everybody. It's a brand new year. It's 2026, and we're just carrying on with this episode. I got quite a bit done around here in 25. Carrying on with 26. Just fooling around with this door here. I'm gonna see if I can get it kind of locked into place and leveled and shimmed, probably insulated, get the door handle on, the lock on, and we'll see how it goes. So we're just starting this now, and we'll see what happens. All right, day 2 on the front door installation. So instead of a latch, it kind of just magnetizes itself into position. I know brass is a little 80-esque, but that's what you wanted, so it really doesn't matter to me. I'm an 80s guy, so. Like I said, paint the frame, and I am done that. So I didn't have to buy a front door. I saved a tremendous amount of money building my own door last Christmas. It's these little things that'll make this project viable. And I like it. What the heck? There it is, folks. So let's take a look at it from outside. Yesterday I painted the frame, and it really makes it pop, I think. All right, guys, that's the door in all its glory, minus the extra handle that I'll be putting down here. Very heavy. I put 4 really heavy-duty hinges on it, and I use 3-inch screws in both the door and the hinge, so it's not going anywhere. The constant heating up and cooling down over the years, it could seriously damage this stuff, so it's really probably not. But we're gonna see what happens, and I'll keep a close eye on it. I'll do whatever it takes to make sure this door works. I did build it, so it's my baby. Alrighty, let's go do something else. I've got to go build some walls in the basement because the electrician's coming in the next bit. Okay, the door upstairs is done, so I'm pivoting to the basement framing because the electrician is going to come and lay out all the plugs. So this wall here, remember I took this apart for the radon pipe that was supposed, and I was under the impression that it was supposed to be a big space to potentially put a fan in later if you detect the invisible, weightless, scentless gas. It needs to be finished as well. So we got all this framed in, which should be fun. And then when the electrician comes, we can lay out all the plugs. Sorry about the lighting, guys. Moving on, moving forward. Oh, the wheels of progress turn mighty quickly when it comes to framing. I forgot how fast things go together. Reconstructed that whole wall there in about an hour. Now, I don't know the way it went. This kind of bulges out here a little bit. So this is not going to work, and you can see up there that is going to be a problem. So I'm going to fur this whole wall out. It'll make a nice clean wall. I'm not going to fight with that with the drywall. It's just not happening. Also, I just noticed that this natural gas line needs blocking. So I'm going to cut some blocking and support that natural gas. There's these little metal things in here, but they're rinky. So they're gone. And we'll put some proper blocking in there. All right, so now I'm over on this side. I rebuilt that other side there and put those blocks in for the natural gas. This is crazy. Somehow boxing all this in and building a wall around it. It's just, I have no idea how I'm going to approach this. So we'll just go, just start. That's usually my method. I just start. We'll take a look at how it comes along here. All right, got that wall completely done. Little fan dangling up here. Get some cute little bit of insulation in here. Instead of batten, put high density in. Nice little touch. Over here tomorrow, we're gonna finish this wall. And that'll be way easier. I'll just bang that off in no time. All right, there's the update. Here I am scrounging toilets just in case, just in case I need some toilets. All right. And in the meantime, just take a little break because I've been working on that for 2 or 3 days. I'm going to put this furnace vent in. So what I did was make a plate. And basically, I'll show you this when it's done. But this will essentially be mounted here. And then that plastic thing will go in here. And then there's an intake and an outtake. And then this nice decorative cover. So there it is. And just putting it all together. And good old John, the natural gas guy, has kind of just told me what to do. So that's what I'm doing. I'll show you in a sec when it's in. Okay, there it is, folks. It's basically intake, outtake. So when it's cold outside, you'll see steam coming out of here. So we thought this would be a good place for it. It won't interfere with any windows or anything like that. The intake is a pipe here as well, and it comes through this side. So anyway, that's done. All right. Whoops, get out of that light there. So that wall's done too. And this, I'm considering putting some blocking in here just in case I want to, like hang a shelf or something. It's always so much nicer when you've got some blocking. You can put a shelf there. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe here. Maybe if you wanted to have a little bench, little workbench here. Some kind of thing you work on something in a pinch, All right. So here is this basement wall that needs to be furred out because this plumbing here, it kind of bulges out. You can see that it's bulging out, and the drywall is going to be a hassle. So I'm just going to fur the whole wall out with these 12-foot 1x2 strips. And just add a 1/2 inch to that whole section right there. Drywall goes on there without any problem. That'll take a couple hours, but it has to be done. I made a mistake. Me and Graham the plumber. That should have been in further, but that kind of thing happens, so here we go. Okay, everybody, I added yet another handle. That problem is solved, and that concludes the door. And I had a really good meeting with the electrician today. So he's gonna let me mount all the boxes and drill all the holes, and the electricians will take care of the technical end of it. But a lot of the labor is pretty basic, so appreciate him letting me do that. So we went through everything for about an hour or longer, but I'll get started on that next episode. Thanks for joining me. Like and subscribe. We'll see you again.